A Giannis Antetokounmpo trade could be coming. The Giannis trade rumors continue to heat up, and Shams, he was on the Pat McAfee show, and he predicted that this offseason might be the craziest in NBA history. And I do think we are going to get to a point where we are going to enter the Giannis sweepstakes. Of course, Giannis hasn't formally requested a trade just yet, but we're not officially into the offseason until the playoffs end. So a lot can change. And let's just say Giannis does in fact request that trade. Every team, it seems, is going to inquire about what it would take to trade for Giannis. But in this video, I'm going to give you my top 5 trade destinations for Giannis. The 5 teams who I think can put forth a compelling trade package for Giannis and can really get the Bucks' interest. So we're gonna dive right into this list. Do me a solid, guys. Smash a like, smash that subscribe button for more content just like this. And we are going to start with the first team on this list, the OKC Thunder. If the Thunder go on to win the championship, I don't think they're gonna make a big trade just because it wouldn't make sense, especially if they just won the chip with this current group. But let's just say they fall short in the finals. Sam Presti, he's got a ton of assets, and the Thunder could make a big splash. They can make an all-in move and say, hey, look, this group, it's good, but it's not good enough to get over that hump. And in this trade scenario, I could see the Thunder part ways with a player who has been huge for them, who's still on his rookie deal, and a player who I think the Bucks would absolutely want in a trade like this. Because when you look at what the Thunder can offer outside of the picks, in terms of the talent going back, they would have to give up Chet or Jalen Williams. And I don't think the Thunder would want to part ways with Chet. So I could see a deal like this going down where the Thunder, they sell high on Jalen Williams, who just had an exceptional season, along with Hardenstein and Isaiah Joe to make the salary work, and 3 first-round picks for Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Bucks get a young talent back in Jalen Williams who they can rebuild around, and OKC gets Giannis. Giannis with Shea and Chet, they would be just a formidable foe in the West for years to come. I mean, they already are without Giannis, but you add Giannis, I mean, that could be what gets them over the top. So again, I only see the Thunder going for Giannis if they don't win the chip. If they fall short, I think they could surprise people and go all in for Giannis. The next team on this list, the Brooklyn Nets, who have been linked to Giannis. And this is a team that they got substantial cap room this summer. But you look at the Nets, they got a lot of first-round picks at their disposal. In a deal like this, I could see the Brooklyn Nets be willing to offload with a ton of those first-round picks. So in this trade, I got the Nets sending Nick Claxton, Cameron Johnson, Keon Johnson, and 6 first-round picks for Giannis. Obviously, the big sell here for the Bucks would be getting all those picks. And if you're the Nets, it begs the question, how good can this team be if they get Giannis? Because clearly they still need to do a lot of work on their roster. But I would assume they would bring back Cam Thomas, and you would have Cam Thomas and Giannis. You would just build around those guys and hope you can quickly fill out this roster where they're good enough to compete in a weak East. So that's the other team I have on this list. The next team, the Toronto Raptors. I think the way the Raptors get a deal done here is if they ship Scotty Barnes, Grady Dick, Abaji, and 3 first-round picks. The Raptors have all their future firsts intact, and they get Giannis. And for the Bucks, obviously the big piece here is Scotty Barnes. That's who they would build their franchise around. Grady Dick, very intriguing young player as well. And then for the Raptors, they look at it like, hey, we got Brandon Ingram. He's in his prime. Forget this rebuild, slow, methodical approach. We're ready to win now. And with Giannis and Ingram, that would create a very dynamic duo in the East. One that can take the East by storm. Again, the East is wide open. So in this case, the Raptors go all in and they kind of, give up on the Scotty Barnes project and they go after somebody who they have been long coveting for over a decade. Masai Ujiri, he loves Giannis. So would he be willing to part ways with the guy who he dedicated this rebuild to for Giannis? The next team on this list, the Houston Rockets. There was reports suggesting they would be open to moving Şengün. I think for the Rockets, they got to make a decision. It's going to either be Şengün or Jalen Green. I don't think they should trade, nor they would trade Şengün, especially if they're trying to win a title. For the Rockets, they would be parting ways with a lot of its youth. But the Rockets are in an interesting position because even if they give up a lot of their youth, they're still going to be in prime position just because they got a lot of that really good, enticing youth. So in this deal, I actually got this one from Bleacher Report that I really like. Rockets sending on over Jalen Green, Jabari Smith Jr., Reed Shepherd, Cam Whitmore, and 3 first-round picks. The Rockets would still not have to part ways with Şengün, with Thompson, with Eason, and you get Giannis. And this is a team that can go out there and compete in the West. I mean, this was a 2 seed in the West without Giannis. I think it would be worth it for the Rockets because they're clearly trying to go for it, and I think they are going to be aggressive this summer. And for the Bucks, they give a big opportunity to, and guys like Jalen Green, who still has a lot of upside, Jabari Smith Jr., and guys like Reed Shepherd and Cam Whitmore, who didn't receive a lot of playing time just because of the Rockets' current situation. And then the final team on this list, the San Antonio Spurs. As soon as they got number 2 in the draft lottery, the Giannis trade rumors have been going wild. Giannis to the Spurs has been the most talked about, I would say, since the draft lottery went down, because of course the Spurs, they find themselves in a great situation. They got the number 2 pick. They got so many young, intriguing pieces that could appeal to the Bucks. But I think for the Spurs to get a deal done for Giannis, I know Spurs fans probably don't want to hear this, you would have to give up Stephon Castle, the reigning Rookie of the Year, and the number 2 pick. I got Stephon Castle, Johnson, Barnes to match the salary, and 4 first-round picks, including the ones they have in this upcoming draft, number 2 and number 14. It's about how much do the Spurs value the fact that Wemby's ready to win now. So if you pair a guy like Wemby with Giannis, with Fox still in the equation, you're not surrendering a whole ton of depth, so you still have pieces around those 3. The Spurs could be a major player in the West. So, and then of course for the Bucks perspective, they're looking to start anew, and it would be an excellent way for them to start anew by basically getting a new backcourt that they can build their future around with Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper. So when you look at some of these deals, certainly I think the Spurs, Rockets, even Raptors can make very, very enticing pitches. Even the Thunder, if they are willing to trade away Jalen Williams. Brooklyn sell, again, would be their first-round picks, giving up 6 in this scenario. But these are the teams, in my opinion, who are the top trade destinations. Giannis is 30 years old. He's still in his prime. He's an NBA champion, 2-time NBA MVP. He's a top 5 player, so you're going to have to pay a lot to get his services. And I think these are some of the best deals from teams that can be offered. So let me know your thoughts, guys, to these deals, to these destinations. Do you think a Giannis trade gets done? Let me know your thoughts down below. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. That is it for me. It's Luke signing off. Thanks for watching. I will catch you all again in the next one.